Hi, everyone. Welcome to our very first episode of Babes and Babies podcast. Yay! I'm Aina, and I'm here with Namrata and Oyinda, and we are all mothers struggling to survive in Lagos and trying to live our best lives at the same time.
Let's dive into today's conversation.
Yes.
Motherhood is filled with so many layers upon layers.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've experienced is so different.
Yeah.
And it's about coming together and talking about what we go through and our experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I had, just crossing that line, but I have 2 under 2.
Yeah.
You have 3 under 2. You have an age gap.
But,
and
but it's still a normal age gap,
of
right?
course.
It's just
Well,
not so. 3 years is a
not-
normal age gap.
Almost 4.
Almost 4.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it goes.
Almost
A little
4.
bit more. Yeah.
So my experience with the two of them is extremely different.
Yeah.
And I'm not advertising babes and babies, but it's really... So when I had my first child, it was just me. None of my friends had babies.
Yeah.
So it was just me and Google. There was no Meta,
There's no
AI,
reference.
no Chats, GPT, nothing.
Yeah.
So it was literally winging it. So we used to go on dates because I would always want to go out.
And
Me
your
and
husband.
Fa.
Oh,
No.
you and your
No, I have
daughter.
so many
yes.
pictures I used to take from 3 months old. We would go out to eat, just me and her. Well, I'm the one enjoying. She's just there.
Yeah.
And I'll take her everywhere. So I'm used to doing that. But then now the difference, taking you same age, with other babies, me talking with other moms,
Yes.
is completely different. And then I just dump in the group. Oh, this is happening. And I just, you guys figure it out. Then it was just me.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to explain. It's very different. It's only 4 years, but you don't remember anything, number one. And I'm enjoying you so much more. I'm breastfeeding her. She's 9 months. I'm still breastfeeding. I stopped at 6 months.
You just said something then.
Well,
And it resonated with me so much. Like you're enjoying you so much more.
yeah.
You're enjoying the process of motherhood more because you've got a support system.
Exactly.
And everyone always says like the number one determinant of your child being thriving and happy is the primary caregivers, like happiness. And I get it. Like it's such a nice
And then
experience.
Also, when I had Fa, because all my friends were single or didn't have children, when you want to meet who, I'm still part of the girls.
Yes,
Me too, I can
yes.
hang. Me too, so like, let's go for lunch at 2 o'clock. I'm like, oh my God, that's
Nap
nap
time.
time. And I'm like, I've said it once, I've said it twice. I don't want to say it's a third time.
Yeah.
I keep asking, I need to bring Fa with me. And she's my first child. So I was saying, now I leave you at home.
Yeah.
Then I don't.
Yeah.
I can't just leave you. I
Yeah.
can't leave Fa, And then I'm like, everything new, it's only people that are doing nap time. So I was under a lot more pressure. Like you're trying to
Keep up with people that are in a different pace.
exactly.
Yeah.
And my, coconut head, I must keep up. I must turn up. I must go out. I'm not losing myself, even though I was completely lost. So like now, it's nap time is nap time. I play dates are from 3 because everyone knows, it just
Nap
works.
time.
So it's
Inclusive.
easy. I don't feel judged. I don't feel neglected. I don't
Yeah.
feel they wouldn't invite me because she has to bring her whole.
And even if you had to cancel something, it's like, oh my God, I'm so
Everyone
sorry.
understands.
Yeah.
So like, I can't come today because my
When
daughter
we're
has a
renting boats
cold.
and somebody has to cancel on the day, you
It's
understand.
fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that pressure this time, no, I am loving
Yeah.
being a mom.
Oh, I
Absolutely.
love it.
Like I might have a third, guys.
I was gonna
Never.
ask
I'm
you
joking.
both.
I'm
okay,
joking.
I was gonna ask you both. Like,
Never.
would you consider having another?
Never.
So
Never.
Naya makes me want another one because just like you, I'm enjoying motherhood this time. I think
Second
looking
time
back
round.
and reflecting, I probably was slightly depressed after
Yeah.
my first experience. Not only was the experience extremely traumatic,
Yeah.
but it was also so isolating. Like with Neil's time, I actually didn't have friends that had kids the same
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who have kids a lot older because I have done this later in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas because I've found this community and I've found a support system with Naya, it's so much more fun.
No, it is.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It is.
And I mentally don't know if I can handle the capacity of 3, but internally, I'm not against the idea where after
Before you
Neil,
would
the
have
thought
been.
of having another kid stressed me out. I was like, oh my God, I have to do this again. Like, not have to, but
Yeah.
the thought of doing this again, like, caused fear. Whereas now I'm like, maybe not, maybe not, but it's not a hard no.
You said that it was traumatic. Like what was traumatic?
So I was pregnant at 39 and I developed preeclampsia. And I didn't even know I developed preeclampsia.
Wow.
Like, it came out of nowhere. Like, afterwards, I asked myself, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? And unfortunately, the doctor says there's nothing you can do. If it comes, it comes.
Yeah.
So I ended up at the hospital at 28 weeks. The doctor told me the night they figured out what it was, hey, you're delivering this baby today.
What?
Luckily, I didn't. They were like, your baby's coming today.
What?
Not all doctors have the best bedside manner
fair
and don't relay information correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, the next doctor on shift was 1,000 times better and really championed for me. But I spent a week in the hospital under care, having blood pressure spikes, and finally delivered at 29 weeks, basically going under organ failure. I mean, that the doctor was like, we're going to keep you here. We're going to keep you here. We're going to manage it. We're going to manage it. And then one day they were like, ooh, your organs are failing. Like, we need to bring this baby in now. And it was the day I turned 29 weeks.
Wow.
That's so pretty super early.
Very early. He was 1.04 kgs. He fit into a palm like this.
No.
It was just literally bone with skin.
You know, at 29 weeks, their brain is still smooth. Can you imagine just how underdeveloped like a child is? Because the twins were also 29 weeks and 29 weeks in one day. One was 1.4 kg, the other one was 1.25. And when my sister was then 29 weeks, she was reading all these facts and she was like, when the twins were born, they didn't even have grooves in their brain.
Wow.
It's so early and it's so scary.
Yeah.
Nobody prepares you for it.
So I couldn't go see him after he was born.
Because you couldn't.
I physically couldn't, but I emotionally couldn't.
Yeah. What was
the tears are coming early.
What was going through your mind though?
I was scared.
Of course.
I mean, I spent a week with a doctor telling me like every single day the baby's in matters. And
it's like this.
No, you don't, with your first, you don't get educated. So as much as you read about in books, you read about after the baby's born.
Yeah.
You don't read about what's going on every week. You open this little app on your phone and your baby's a blueberry today. Your baby's an apple and there's legs now. But they don't actually inform you what goes on developmentally, or even if they do, you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
So to go and see him that frail, you worry.
Yeah, for sure. Did you feel like you had the support you needed, whether it was medical care or just even like friends and family?
Yeah.
So
Could people do anything right?
I'm very, very, very lucky. I was in the States at the time. I was in the States for 48 hours before I went into the hospital. I flew in. I went out for pizza with a couple friends. The night I ended up in the hospital, I woke up at 1:30 in the morning with a splitting headache. And I was like, you know what? No. And then in the matter of 30 minutes, the headache went from slightly dull to stronger to the point where I felt like a drill hammer was pounding my head. Like that jackhammer on the foundation, that big one. It felt like there was a hammer sitting on top of my head. So I woke up my parents because I was with them. And I said, you have to take me to the hospital.
Thank God.
For me to say those words, I am the trooper. I'm like, I have a fever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have a cough. It's fine. I don't even need medicine. I'll keep going. For me to utter the words, I need to go to the hospital, everyone freaked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a big deal. It was a really big deal.
I think we always think things are going to happen as they should. People always think they're going to get pregnant without assistance. People always think they're going to give birth to a full-term baby. But now, after going through an early delivery as well, if people are thinking of traveling out, I always say travel out as soon as you can, because you just don't know.
Look what happened to you.
Look what happened to me. Thank God that you had the right medical assistance, It's so scary, and they are just so delicate. I was due to fly out, and then I was packing, and the day before my flight back to the UK, my waters broke. But I was so ignorant to everything to do with maternal care because I didn't go through any of that, like antenatal.
Yeah.
So I would just go for my scans in Nigeria because I thought, oh, I'm going to the UK anyway. I'll do all of that stuff there. And then all of a sudden, they were like, oh, you're going to end up having the baby. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going on a flight. Like I was so...
How many weeks was this?
29 weeks. I was so ignorant to everything. So I gave birth 2 a.m. the following day at 29 plus 1. So it was essentially 29 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was begging when I was in active labor, like, please, can somebody check if I'm dilated? Because the only thing I'd seen on TV is that you're 10 centimeters dilated.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And the midwife just kept on saying, don't push, you're fine. You need to pack your bags now. Auntie, you need to go. And I'm like, but I feel like the babies are coming. Please, can you check? They were like, no, please, you need to go. So my mom was going around asking, and it was during Ramadan. My husband was waiting for me because he was going to be meeting me at the airport in the morning. So he was in London. And then when they left the room, I said, Mommy, please, like, I feel like the babies are coming. Can you check? And she pulled out my underwear. The legs were already out and they were both breech. I mean, you just can't write this stuff. And then all of a sudden, 10 people are coming into the A&E because they refused to take me to the maternity ward because they didn't want a death on their records.
In their hospital.
So my best friend happened to be around. She was just video recording everything to my sister-in-law in the UK because she's like, if anybody dies today, somebody's being held accountable.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And then after that, even going into the hospital, even when they got into intensive care, the doctor was like, oh, do you know what their life expectancy is? I was totally ignorant. I was like, no. Like, okay. But then Balaji had come the next day and he was fasting during Ramadan. Nikki was really hot and he was like, oh, 70-30. And we looked at each other. We were like, oh, that's really good.
That's not even accurate.
I know, but based on, they were looking at the different things of the child. So we had less nutrients than and all of that stuff. And the weight of one of our kids was really good, etc. So then I was like, 70-30, that's fantastic. Okay. And then he was like, no, 30% stay, 70%.
Oh,
but that is how he said it.
That's definitely not accurate.
Oh, that's what. Were you in that moment? It's
not even that. But when we asked the doctors, he's like, they do have these percentages, but every doctor will look at different things. Some look at weight, some look at the conditions in which they were born. My son, his legs were totally blue and black from the lack of
hanging out.
because he was hanging out. That's another thing. These guys, these hospitals, they cut me. No medication, no epidural, no nothing. Cut with the scissors, and the boys were still stuck.
Ouch.
And I literally said to my mum at some point, save the boys, I'm done.
How? I would never pick up.
Because I was screaming. I was like, Mummy, they're trying to kill me. You know, the doctor was putting his hand in me trying to turn the baby.
Yes.
She's like, they're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me. Help me. My mum refused to look at me. And she was just looking at the doctor like, you got to do something. Jesus. So she was like, cut. And he was scared. He had never delivered breech twins. So he was even checking YouTube before he came into the room.
Jesus.
Like, what do? You're in a country where they don't have, nobody, in most countries, not Nigeria, most countries do not deliver breech twins vaginally. It's only if one child is breech. So the whole thing was a mess. Then one contracted meningitis and was given 3 days to live. The whole thing was a mess. It was a mess. But I think nobody prepares you for these things. So this is not really to scare anybody, but it's to say that, look, you have to think about, if I was to give birth next week, is this where I want? Do I know who my doctor is? Do I know what I need to have? You need to plan for the worst case scenarios. For sure.
Yeah, my friends who have been pregnant after me and they talk about it, I always tell them, look, 28 weeks it's the last cutoff. Be where you're going to be when you deliver. By 24, by 25, don't chance it, because look at what happened to me. I'm like the walking billboard of, don't assume that your plans are going to go the way you think they're going to go.
Yeah, it's
because I called my husband up and I said, listen, the doctor said I'm delivering this baby today. Like, you need to fly here now. He wasn't in the country with me.
Yeah. And there's so many good references of people leaving at 35. One of my neighbors left at 37 weeks. Do you understand? Like, there's so many good...
So I was like waiting
to
the last minute.
Which means that a lot of people then think like, okay, Oyinda did
I
it.
just checked the airline and then, so it's based on
how many weeks.
When they can, and everybody was putting 36.
But everyone talks about the good stories.
Yeah.
People don't like to talk about
the bad.
And I mean, that's why this is important.
Yeah. Just
not
to make
that everything is bad, but you just need to know, like,
you need to go into it.
It's a beautiful journey, but it's a messy journey.
Yeah, even though entire pregnancy is, for some people, like they're, just, their skin is dewy and like amazing. But like even just a pregnancy can be difficult for a lot of people.
I had pregnancy acne, so no dewy skin
exactly.
over here.
I didn't have pregnancy acne, but I had like acne on my chest and my back.
And I just had on my face. Yeah. So you can imagine I'm fat, my face is shit, my hair is, my hairline is...
It's not lining.
The only thing I loved about pregnancy was my hair.
Really?
That was
nice?
it. It was beautiful, thick, luscious, like this hair that I've always dreamed of.
No,
but everything else,
about this elusive
my
hair.
Everything else was awful.
Came postpartum. So even though I lost my edges, then my hair became full. But afterwards,
really,
yeah.
I lost all my hair.
Same.
But the
edges.
first one, I was joking that my husband was like, "You're decorating the house with your hair." I basically almost went bald.
But how about now? Like now that you guys have kind of been through it twice as well, what are you struggling with the most?
So mine is definitely the age gap. So what Fa enjoys, so you're still doing soft play. Fa wants to maybe skate. She wants to climb. She wants to. So it's like, that's why I really appreciate the babes and babies, because like most places we go, it caters to the two of them.
Yeah.
Whereas if I didn't have this community, I wouldn't even... It's like I need to pick, okay, Fa, you're going to be bored today. You're going to be bored today. And then also because Fa is 4, she's very vocal. She's very sharp. So I always need to take time out. So on Saturday, we went to the supermarket, just us. And I left Yuyu at home, which was so hard. But I just wanted her to know...
You're
like, this is me and you time. Because obviously she must feel some kind of competition for my affection with Yuyu. So we did go out and I made sure she understands. This is just, because babies are not allowed in the supermarket. I was like, okay. But all right, we've been to the supermarket with you, but, that's the narrative you want to go with. So fine. So we went and then we went round and then we went to get some ice cream. And then once a week, we actually go to get ice cream, just us. Although now that Yuyu has started nurseries, so I'll leave Yuyu at home every Wednesday and pick up Fa and we go to get ice cream, just both of us. But that hasn't happened since December because now Yuyu is there. So I don't know how to... I just need to make sure Fa knows. And like, I'm very conscious about, I'm not saying, don't make noise so you don't wake Yuyu up. Don't because of Yuyu. Yuyu. So I just say,
I love that what you do with your girls.
So you're like, no, don't make noise, inside voices. So I make it general, like, a lady doesn't shout, whereas I just don't wake Yuyu up. So I just make sure I don't keep talking about you and I told the staff because they keep saying, you're not a big sister, you're not acting like a big sister.
Yeah,
and
that's not nice.
They're already going to be in competition with each other.
Yeah.
So sometimes they shower in different bathrooms. So sometimes they shower in our bathroom if we get home late, and then Yuyu showers in the children's bathroom. And they go, let's do a competition. Yuyu is going to win you. Fa is going to. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Say I'm the one showering for Yuyu anyway, so she can compete with me and say, Uma is going to finish showering for Yuyu before you. So let her compete with me, but I don't want
her competing with her sister.
Yeah. And then Yuyu is very light and Fa is darker. So, and the community we're in, we obviously just favor light skin. You're more beautiful if you're lighter.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So I'm very conscious about that comparison as well.
People say it so
they
early.
Say, and they would say because she's lighter.
And in their presence, by the way.
Yeah,
it's so awkward. They do it with Alia, like, she's so much darker than her brothers.
It's not just your community that makes those comments.
No, but it's any... it's like
ridiculous.
Any ethnic minority. Well, not even ethnic minority. It's in non-Western countries, they love commenting on skin color, and it's awful.
So when we go out and, like, obviously when I just had Yuyu, if I just saw you, like, oh, you, and everybody's neglecting her, and I'm like, I'm pinching everybody. Can you say hello to Fa as well? You know, like, oh, your baby is so cute. I'm like, Fa is also cute, you know, but it's natural. It's not their fault, but I make sure you don't just get carried away with, oh, my new baby. You know, even moms, we don't get hugs anymore.
It's always about the baby.
Yes, I just carry my baby. I'm like, and I'm already going for a kiss. I'm like, oh, okay. Or like then, you know, which is fine for me. But with the two of them, I always I'm like, can you say hi to you, Fa? Can you compliment? You know, if I weave, you use hair, because I started really young. Oh, yeah, your hair's so beautiful. I'm like,
what about
you have to be so intentional to not allow favoritism.
Yeah, so like even sometimes I have to tell my friends, like, guy, you didn't talk about, but like, it says that serious. It's actually that serious. Like, please make an effort to, you know, I probably did the same without knowing, but I need to make sure that, you know, as I said, they're in natural competition with each other anyway. So I need to make sure, you know, I'm helping as much as I can.
I think people just naturally, when they don't understand something, because they're not in that position, maybe they're not parents to multiple kids, or their kids don't have a difference in skin color, so they don't see how subtle those comments are all the time. It's hard to know when they're doing it. I don't know how to explain it, but like, for example, my boys are on the spectrum, right? This weekend, somebody kept on saying, cans, and like was wanting to get Cans' attention. And deep down, I know Cans is not going to respond to him, because sometimes with a lot of kids on the spectrum, they're not going to respond to their name. Deep down, I was just praying, like, Cans, please just respond to this auntie so she'll shut up. And it was so stupid, because I'm thinking, like, just leave him alone. Instead of saying to her, like, it's okay now, he doesn't want to respond to you. I was just thinking, like, oh, please respond. And it's just the lack of education for them. Like, they don't know because if you meet one autistic kid, you've met one autistic kid, they're so different.
And that's why it's called a spectrum.
That's why it's called a spectrum. Like, but they don't realize when you're engaging with different people, like, you can't assume. So like, even when people are saying like, oh my God, Yu's so gorgeous, they're probably just saying it because Yu is gorgeous. It doesn't mean that Fa isn't gorgeous, but the fact that they're not thinking to compliment the sister at the same time when
she's still young.
That's it.
So I really struggle. I really struggle with that.
I can imagine. What about you, Nam?
I think, just this conversation makes me realize I do need to be more intentional. Initially, when Naya came, I didn't want him to be jealous. So I've done everything opposite of what you've done. I've actually forced them to do everything together. We're going to go to this play date together. We're going to go to dinner together. We're going to go to the supermarket together, just so that I wasn't choosing between one or the other, but to create that bond, like, hey, Neil, this is your little sister. And maybe that approach, as this is making me realize, is not the only approach I should try. Not that it's wrong, but that he probably needs that alone time as well. And I realize I don't do it because I want them to be together so much. Whereas because Naya requires me more, I do get alone time with her. I do, and he's in school. So the time he's in school, I have that alone time with her. And I've just realized now, I need to have a mummy-son little date.
That's such a good point.
And then it reminds me of something fast that, I don't know if I should say this.
You should say it.
At some point, she said, I want you to die.
No, I've heard this a lot.
I'm not
with
joking.
Kids. No, I've heard this a lot with kids. And it's because she's at least 3 years older than you. Their cognitive understanding is very, very much there at that point.
And I was like, you don't want her to breathe. She said, no. I said, but I was trying to be not a typical Nigerian mom. Let me even understand what happened.
Maybe being curious.
And then I was like, you don't want her to breathe. And no. I said, okay, so do you still love her? I love her very much. I said, okay, so why do you want her to die? And Fa is so smart. So she didn't tell me the reason. She just wanted to try, I don't know. And then wanted to start playing. So I think maybe my body language wasn't as neutral as I wanted. But she felt...
She understood that that's not something I should say.
Exactly. So it still bugs me till today that I do not know what triggered that statement. Because I asked her in 3-4 different ways, and it was, I want you to. I did. What's a nicer word?
And
I love that she expressed herself. And I say this because when we go out, parents are trained to not allow kids to express their emotions. The minute your child throws a tantrum, you're like, shh, 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 and you're shushing them.
Yeah.
What they're trying to tell you is, I'm not happy right now. And instead of allowing them to really bask in their unhappiness and then name their emotion, you're telling them to mute their emotion.
You're already teaching them to control their emotion at this
and
age
you allowed
and hide
her
it.
to express it.
So it's they cry. I cry.
Of course.
They cry. I cried that day.
But Far
And for
flipping
like
loves her
3
sister. Let me just say that.
Yeah,
She
so,
loves
so
her
I was,
sister.
but it's just like, am I convincing myself? So no, I'll be picturing her, but it's like, oh, Fa is crying. I'm her hero. Oh, I told you, I'm the only one that had Fa. And then I was just trying to pacify myself, like, Oyinda, you need to also question yourself, like, are you being in denial? Are you really basic? So I told, please never leave Fa and you alone, I beg, because God forbid. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying. I know I'm a bit extreme. Like,
No, but you have to think
I'm not
worst
saying-
case scenarios.
No, what I'm about to say is a bit extreme.
Yeah.
So actually, no, it's a baby's podcast. But yeah, my mind went, this is how
To the
it starts.
extreme, yeah.
So I'm like, please never leave them. I don't know, they're playing with the pillow and they're doing a pillow fight. Like it was extreme. And I told, if I ever see, I'm sacking anybody on duty.
Yeah.
I don't care if 3 of you are there and you say, oh, Morokwe, she was with her. I thought she was with her. Please never, ever leave the 2 of them together. So now I've relaxed on that but it was horrible. It was scary. So that age gap, like, is a big, it's actually a very big issue.
I mean, before you, Fa was happy. It was you, her dad, and her.
Yeah.
And then there was
to
an addition.
enforce another one, it's like, but I was good before. I didn't need you. I was good.
I didn't ask for you.
I didn't ask for you. Why does she have to always be
so
around
now
you?
I can't even go out with you. So before now, I was just doing exclusive. And I just want to quickly pop out. I can't because I don't want her to feel, oh, so you is good enough to take out, but you leave me at home.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And then taking out
Yeah.
fine. So as she naps, is she going to eat? Is she going to enjoy? Like I literally just want to pop out.
Yeah.
But I cannot pop out without Fa because like I'm her food. I wasn't, pumping.
But because you're thinking of all of these things, Oyinda, you're doing such an incredible job. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not as if you're just thinking like, oh, let me just do it. Like, you're really so intentional.
No, thank you. But yeah.
It's funny, like what you said reminded me of the first month I had Neil and Naya. And Neil actually told me, Mama, can we send her back? So it's the same sort of like, Mama, just can Naya go back to where she came from?
Yeah,
and I'm
of
like, no,
course.
she definitely can't.
Maybe that's why
But
you
Mama,
wanted them
just
to
send Naya
bond.
back. Return Naya, send Naya back because he's 2.
Of
He literally had
course.
just turned like just the week or 2 after his birthday. I was like,
Yeah.
Mama, send Naya back.
It's so
Because
it's
he
a
was
lot.
at that point he was cognizant
They're
of the
still
adjustment.
babies.
Yeah.
They're still just 2. Like,
Yeah.
that's still a kid. You need your mum. Like, you still want comfort. That's like the shadowing phase, isn't it? Where you want to be wherever your mum or your dad is.
I will never forget the first 24 hours I came home with Naya. And I mean, I had just spent 4 months with just him and I. Dad wasn't around. It was just me and Neil all day, every day, all weekend long. And then I've come home with this baby and I've gone to the hospital. And I walk in the door and he says hello to my husband. He says hello to grandma. He says hello to grandpa. He ignores me. And for the first 24 to 36 hours, whoever held Naya did not exist in the world.
Oh my God.
Because he was just, it was his way of processing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why do they like
It hurts, but I
Yeah.
understand it, but it was
Yeah.
really hard. And then, of course, by day 2, by day 3, he normalized. And in his head now at 2, this is his new normal.
Yeah.
But that initial adjustment, that was how he coped.
Yeah, it's so hard. Like, people really underestimate these things. And like, they don't prepare you. You know, when they say, okay, if the baby's crying, the baby will not remember. So I used to say like, shush, Alia, I'm going to see cans.
Yeah, because
Shush.
they understand.
They
Yeah.
understand. So
Yeah.
like but then people will say like, no, your baby's crying. I would say to my mom, I guess,
No.
let the baby cry. And I would be so
Yeah.
vocal. Cry, Alia.
So they
I'm seeing
feel-
Kaden.
yeah,
So
so the
they feel
boys feel-
special.
yeah.
But people don't tell you enough, like all these little things, like you do really need to be so intentional.
Mm-hmm. So I know you've got a lot on your plate.
It's
with
full.
3 under 2.
It's full.
And, you know, with the boys being on the spectrum, like what challenges you faced and how are you navigating? Because you're always looking so beautiful with like makeup. Well, not makeup, but like you always look, no one could ever tell.
Do you know what it is? I always put like a base level of at least highlighter because I do meetings every day that let me just feel like myself.
Yeah.
I think with the boys being on the spectrum, so the boys hit all their milestones early, even though they were 3 months behind.
Okay.
It wasn't until 18 months that they regressed. So Kaden was speaking, everything was good, and that's with most kids on the spectrum.
Really?
Yes. So they go through a regression at some point. Sometimes it's 14 months. Sometimes. So Kaden used to say, Mama, Dada, bye-bye, leave me. I did it. Like he used to speak and he spoke early. Spoke earlier than Cans who doesn't stop speaking now. And then around 18 months, I noticed something was wrong. So I started calling around, asking for help. This was when we were in the UK because we were pregnant. And I think deep down, I knew something. It wasn't that something was wrong. Deep down, I knew that, something might be different here compared to most people's journeys. But I was also very much in denial. So I went and I was like going private to get all these diagnoses. But even when there might have been like a little inkling that they were saying like, okay, it's still early because they don't like to diagnose too early in the UK.
Yeah, of course.
Because it can be other different things. Like it could be 2 languages being introduced that might cause a speech delay. I was kind of like, no, they're fine. Anyway, they're fine.
Yeah.
Eventually, when it got to the point where I had accepted that actually this is their uniqueness and superpower, biology was like, well done. You finally got there. I see all these amazing people on the spectrum. And once you understand their needs, you're able to enable them to thrive.
Yeah.
I think my biggest, I don't want to even get emotional. My biggest concern, I just want to protect them.
Yeah.
Me and their dad, we understand them. I just want to protect them from people who don't understand them and people who are not ready yet to learn. And I just want them to be okay. So I understand what they need and I want to give them an environment where they can thrive. But I just don't want people to judge them and I can't protect them from it. So I think that's what's hard, and it's definitely a me thing because they're good. They're living their best
every time
life.
I see them, if you don't say,
You don't know,
yeah, because you're not going to notice. Well, the only thing that stands out is they're not speaking, but then you have to spend a lot of time with them because they're playing. So what are they talking about?
And Khan speaks a lot, but because he's autistic, people don't hear him speak because he doesn't. It's a social disorder, a big part of it. So it's about the social interaction. So if you're at the house, like he doesn't stop singing, whereas Kaden is nonverbal right now, and I think it's just I feel like a lot of times people want to. They're like, oh, he's not chatty or he's not this. And it's like, yeah, they're like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, yes, he's not. Is that a problem?
Like, what is it?
Yeah.
What's your point?
Yeah. And I don't want them to be labeled either because I know what it was like at school. Somebody that was a little bit different, you straight away start labeling them. So I think I'm just more working through how to protect them, but also let them live.
Yeah.
But I see that this is why you champion these initiatives and these programs that you're a great force behind. And it's about educating. Like once people see and realize and are shown a different perspective, they will see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, until my kids were on the spectrum, I didn't know much either. And then actually now, guys, I notice so many people, especially women that are on the spectrum.
Yeah, even in our old age.
And we
don't realize undiagnosed.
Especially women, because women are so good at masking. Like I have a friend, I'm so convinced she's on the spectrum, but I could never, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like the world generally is there's more awareness about this kind of thing. So the
100%.
stigma and labels are not as bad as before. So the boys will be fine.
Yeah, you see Elon Musk, you see Jeff Bezos, you see all of these people, but
Yeah.
like they have, I feel like people treat them differently because they are successful.
Yeah, but I'm sure the early years, if you hear their stories, it won't be as cute.
That's very true. Yeah, some of them have been like
Yeah.
shocking, actually.
Today, I just want to acknowledge that every woman's and mother's journey is really different.
Yeah.
And, whether it's about having an age gap or having premature babies or a lot of kids under a young age,
Yeah.
there's a beauty and there's strength, and it's just a lovely, lovely journey to be on. I want to bring something up to you ladies. You know exactly what I am going to bring up.
Oh,
It's our talking cards.
I didn't actually. I forgot.
So-
I was like, what?
I was
I thought you were gonna say she's pregnant or something. I'm like, what?
no,
What
no, no.
surprise do you have?
No. So we came up with these talking cards
Yeah.
literally in 24 hours. Like,
Literally.
Are we jobless? We're not. We're
no,
busy.
we're not
Booked
joking.
and
We're busy. But somehow the three of us together can get a lot done in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So it went from, wouldn't it be nice to, let me make some samples up, to, wait, I threw a list together
Yeah.
and can you just edit it, to, I have the printer.
Yeah.
And 24 hours later, we have these
Literally.
cards. So
And it's because of all the forming new friendships, like when you're
like,
meeting all these new
hearing
moms.
struggles or even fun bits.
Yeah.
wanting to have like real conversations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, question for you. What is a side of yourself you wish more people could see?
God, I'm an open book. Let me not lie. I feel like everyone sees everything. I think maybe the kind of work I do, people don't see it because I'm consulting for organizations. So people know I'm always very busy, but they don't know
Well,
maybe what my
exactly.
skill set is. I think maybe just that.
I would actually say that as well, because like with this new group, I've come across like, what would I say? A housewife. Although I always wanted to be a housewife.
I
So
don't feel like you
I'm
come
living
across as
my
a housewife.
dream right
Yeah,
now,
she wants to
guys.
be a lady of leisure.
Like,
Let me
I'm
be honest with
actually
you. This
living-
one,
like, I
if
don't
you
call
could
your
retire her.
husband. That will give money out to buy bread. I'm like, yes, please. I need money to buy bread. I have zero shame. So I'm actually living my best life now. But like, I guess you guys might have an idea to an extent, but even not really, because like I've been in proper work 9 to 5 for like 13 years.
Yeah.
But I feel like I wish the other girls
Knew a different
knew
side.
although I'm not sure why, to be honest.
Do you know
Well, I
what?
just-
This is such a good point, Oyinda. Like, sorry, Nam, but like when you're a mum, it's almost like you only show your mum's side.
Yes, it's just this
It's so weird.
canopy. It's just mom.
Like as though
so-
that's the one dimension you can show. Or like a lot of career women feel like, okay, I can only show that one side. That's so true.
Yeah, so and then you've mentioned about my Instagram as well. It's all
Yeah.
baby. I
Yeah.
didn't show my fun side. I didn't show my work side.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to start and then I've stopped again. But yeah, but I wish people knew like I can be serious.
You didn't answer it for yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm
Try
the
to
interviewer
dodge-
here.
No,
Oh
no, no,
my
no,
God,
no,
don't even
no,
try
no,
it.
no, no,
Don't
your
try
turn.
it.
Your turn.
Well, so do you know what? I think I've done it today, but vulnerability.
Namrata is never. Let me tell you, I had to send a message in the group chat several times. Please, be honest and vulnerable. This girl, you'll be talking about marital issues, and she'll be like, "Yeah, so I had a lollipop earlier, like something totally unrelated." And you're like, "Yo," but I'm shocked today. Let me not lie, I'm shocked.
I saw
and I love it
tears.
for you. I'm
I
surprised.
saw tears.
Yeah.
Super surprised.
So I am actually a very emotional person, and the way I have found as a coping mechanism is to lock it up in a box.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's really easy to lock it, pack it, throw it down
Compartmentalize.
into the ocean, let it sink 15
Yeah.
feet.
no, but then I also
20
heard that's
years.
very dangerous.
But this is therapy. Like for me, this is therapy. Like I never
Oh.
talk about their autism in this way. So like this has been useful.
But it's also knowing that I have a safe space to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
like in most
exactly.
situations, I can't go talk about a problem because I don't want it misconstrued,
Yeah.
repeated in the wrong way, you know.
Or even
So
used against you at some point.
Use
You
in
never
this country,
know.
yeah,
You never
or with any
know.
friend,
They
in
or you
might
don't know
deny
if there's
any
everything you
country, in any
say.
group.
using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
And
true.
they twist your words and just,
So
yes, I understand.
for me to be vulnerable, I need to feel confident that I'm in a safe, trusted environment.
Yeah, I love that. You are, by the way.
Thank you.
And I think this allows other women as well to be okay with being vulnerable because there must be something that resonates with
Being
one of them.
vulnerable takes a lot of strength, which a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
So, oh, you're vulnerable, you're weak, you're crying, but it's
so hard to let yourself get there.
Yeah, it's actually courageous.
Yeah.
You know,
so hard.
Because you're allowing yourself to be judged. You're leaving yourself open. So being vulnerable is actually being really strong. Scary, yeah, but it takes strength.
Look at her looking through all the cards like, no.
I'm picking for you guys. How has your definition of success changed over time?
Before it was all about money. And now I think as I earn more and more money, I realize it's really, I only need a certain amount to be happy. So my success is how much time do I get to spend with my family, with my friends, like the freedom I have and the relationships I have. And that's been a game changer for me because before I was just obsessed with work.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the most successful I've ever been, even though I'm not working. I'm not earning a salary. But
I'm with you.
And I actually, honestly, I feel like the richest person in the world. I feel this is the most successful I've been, even though I might still take interviews here and there.
But you feel content.
But no, I'm not joking. So I don't know if it's the I don't even know what it is, but my shoulders are like this.
I love that.
No, at this point, I am
because of the relationships that you have around you.
Yeah, I don't even know what you people are doing. I don't even know. I can't pin. I need to think about it, right? On why I feel
happy,
rich. I feel successful. I feel like I'm excelling. My children are doing well. And all these things have always happened.
Yes.
But for some reason, and as I said, I've had the least money I've had, not in my life, but in my working life, because I've not earned since
because you're not working right now.
Yeah. So, but I wouldn't trade it for anything, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't.
I don't think people realize how important friendships are. Everyone emphasizes on family is important, your children are important, but no one actually talks about what a difference it makes to have a strong support system, a good set of girlfriends. I've always been someone that doesn't have a large list of friends. I have a few normally close friends that I could tell anything to. And my best friend has been my best friend for, I have to think about it now, we're going on 18 years or something like that. And because I've had her, I have always felt like I've had friends, but to now expand that to a group with such different women who can bring so many different things to the table, it literally has been life-changing. And it's almost like I know among our mom group that anything can get done. I feel like there's not a problem that cannot be solved by asking one of these ladies.
I know what makes this more special than your family, because your family, they have to love you, as everyone says. Like this one, you're choosing.
To be in that relationship of friends.
So I don't feel like my family, I feel like I'm a liability at times because you have to help me. I don't understand. I need help. You have to help me. I'll go and report.
So
do you get
funny.
what I mean? So
don't get it twisted. We're not loners. We have friends before each other. I think it's about having friends that meet you where you're at that point of in your life though, right? Like I've had friends, like you said, long-term friends, but it's different with this one because we're going through similar things.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, sorry. What was the question again?
Totally digressed.
Has your definition of success changed?
Okay. We've all answered
it.
Yes, we've all answered it.
Yes.
So, ladies, how do you feel?
I feel lighter.
I agree.
You guys cried, so I learned
So next time it's on you.
Yeah, I learned a bit more about you guys.
There was a little tears I saw.
No,
She's
Oyinda
pretending
doesn't cry.
now. We'll
But when
roll
I
back the
cry, I
tape.
sob. You guys were crying like
No, I was like,
cute. No, you guys. When I finally
we
I'll
break
be
you
on-
down.
I'll be on the floor. Trust me, you don't want me to cry. I'm not a cute crier.
Guys, if there is anything that resonated with you today, please share on to other women that it might resonate with as well. Because I think one thing we've learned from each other is that you're not in on this journey alone.
Nope.
Like you've got a sisterhood, whether it's virtual or with you there, like lean on others.
We have some exciting topics coming up. So we're going to be talking about our personal challenges. We're going to be talking about things like IVF and assisted pregnancies. We're going to bring on different moms, talk about body images, talking about raising kids, just friendships.
Relationships.
Dating
with
your
your partner.
friends.
Yeah, dating your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but if would you say if any one of you are going through these challenges, we hear you, we support you, we stand for you, and would list where you can contact us or reach us in case there was anything you wanted to talk about, anything you'd like us to talk about as well, or if you'd like to join our play dates, you can reach us if you check the comments below.
That would be nice. Yeah, join our play date. Remember, there's no right way to do motherhood, just your own way. See you next time.
Thank you.